That's us, Philly's #1 college radio station, WHIP. 215-204-9449 is the number if you want to call and hang with us. The Temple football team is back in action. We were at the Cherry and White game last Saturday, and now they have a very important cause for the Susan G Komen Foundation on May 12th as they have a walk coming up. And Matt Rule, Julie Rule, Evan Regas, and a whole lot of the Temple football team has put together a team. And now joining us in studio is Evan Regas. Evan, Zach Gelb, Hayley Condon, and John Henry. How you doing? Thanks for coming in.
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Well, this is an important walk, and my grandmother actually had breast cancer. I know you've been affected by the disease as well as your mom passed away. Can you just tell us a little bit about your story and your connection with this unfortunate disease?
Oh, yeah. My mother, we found out she had breast cancer when I was a senior in high school, just about to come to Temple. And she had a double mastectomy, and we thought everything was going to be okay. And over the past 4 years, she's been going back and forth with it until, unfortunately, last September, she passed away from breast cancer.
Oh, yeah, I just lost somebody, my aunt. She's passed away from breast cancer, so it's it's a tough thing to endure. But it's not. It is tough because you're right. It was back and forth for probably 7-8 years. We had, she had it, and it finally just kind of surrounded her entire body, and within 2 weeks, that was it.
Yeah, and my grandmother had breast cancer as well, and she was able to recover. But here's the thing. The most important thing is to sign up for this event and raise money. Tell us a little bit about what your teammates are doing and how people could join the Temple Tough team.
Well, we're doing the Susan G Komen Walk for the Cure. That's on May 12th, Mother's Day. And this year we actually have a team of 15 players doing the 1 mile fun walk to help promote awareness for this disease. And we are also having some of our coaches are doing the actual run themselves. I know Coach Rule and his wife who are going to be participating in that. And we're just trying to get the word out, trying to raise money for this awesome foundation to help anybody affected by this disease.
Yeah, and you've been affected by this disease with your mother, and obviously the most important thing now is to raise money towards the cause to hopefully try to find a cure for it. And your teammates, and I played football in high school, I know you did, and now you're playing with the Temple Owls, I'm sure have been very supportive of you. When your mother did pass away, how were your teammates there to support you?
They were my backbone. They were the guys who, they were there the whole time I was here. They really kept me going. I came back to campus a few days after she passed to get some stuff, and I ended up staying about 4 hours longer than I thought, just hanging out with them and just talking to them. And then I couldn't wait to see them when they came to pay their respects at my mother's wake. I was just so excited to see them.
And Matt Rule's the new head football coach of this team, and he was here under Al Golden. And I've seen a lot of Matt Rule getting his face out there. He was at Spring Fling doing the Cupid Shuffle. I know some people were digging on that. And then he also was a big face in the Cherry and White game. Matt Rule's personality, it seems like this is a new life to this football team, and he's willing to do a lot of these events.
I couldn't say it better myself. Coach Rule's really given this team new life. He's a Temple guy. He's been here since Coach Golden, Coach Dazio, spent a year with the Giants, and now he's back as the head coach, and I couldn't be happier. I think he's the best guy for the job.
Yeah, that's kind of the perception. We had Coyer in here last week. I think it was
last Thursday.
Last Thursday or whatever it was, yeah. And he had all praise for Matt Rule. We're pretty much getting the same thing from everybody, and everybody around here really likes the guy. What do you really like about him? Is it that he's very personal with you guys, or that he's just a very smart guy? What is it about him that you really like?
Well, I think he's very personable. He's more of a player's coach, I guess I would say. We talk to him more like he's one of the guys. He's not very drill sergeant-ish, I guess you would say. He's fun to be around. He loves to have fun. The coaches had a snow game one day. They played 7-on-7 in the snow. And,
that's cool.
No other coaching staff I've seen ever done that.
Evan Regas joins us in studio. The Susan G Komen Foundation Walk is May 12th. Temple has the team. Make sure to register. Only 4 days left to do so. The money goes to a great cause. And Evan, I understand, I was texting with Coach Rule last night, and he said you were there to start the beginning of training camp, and then you got hurt a little bit. How are you right now from a health standpoint?
I'm doing great. I got a clean record of health yesterday from the doctor, so I'm ready to go for this August and just enjoy this last year.
So you see Chris Coyer, and he was in studio with us on Thursday, and this was a guy that was the starting quarterback this past year. Connor Riley comes in early into camp and impresses a lot of people and was named the #1 quarterback, and it's still going to be an open battle. But now you see Chris Coyer making a transition to tight end and also to a H-back, fullback set as well. Chris's personality, that must be encouraging to watch, how he's willing to just abandon the quarterback position and then try to make a switch to make this team better.
Oh, Chris is a great guy. I mean, he's a real team player. He'll do whatever it takes, anything for this team. He'll kick the ball if we need him to. He'll get the water for. He loves this team, and he's going to do whatever it takes to help them. And no matter where that puts him, he's going to have a positive attitude about it and just try to do his best.
Connor Riley's going to probably be the new quarterback for this team. We saw him in the spring game, and he looked very impressive. He has a cannon for an arm. When you look at Connor Riley on the film and then also on the field, what do you see out of him?
Well, Connor Riley's actually my roommate, so it's kind of hard to look past the little brother aspect that I feel with him. But I think Connor is going to be an amazing leader for this team this year and going out. He has the arm strength. He throws bombs, but they're on point, and he's very smart with the ball. He doesn't force things, and he can move a little bit when he needs to. So I feel that he's going to take this program to a new level.
And this has been a change. This program has changed conferences. They've changed head coaches. And you also have a lot of players changing positions. And one of those positions is tight end, where you saw Cody Booth go from tight end to tackle. You've been an offensive lineman for a bunch of years. How is Cody fitting in with the new offensive line?
Cody's been, he's fitting right in. When he was tight end, we used to joke with him saying, they're going to move you to tackle, watch out. And sure enough, they moved him to tackle. But, he's doing everything he needs to do. He's gaining the weight. He's learning the plays from an offensive lineman aspect. He's a very smart player, and he's fitting in really well with us.
How do you feel opening up at Notre Dame? I mean, that's got to be, a team was just in the championship game, didn't win it, obviously, but opening up there. I think we're going to actually make the trip out there to see you guys play. I mean, obviously emotions are going to be so high for a game like that. Have you guys even discussed that yet, that game, or not yet?
Not as a team per se, but I mean, we've known we were going to play Notre Dame for a little over a year, 2 years, and watching them play last year in the BCS championship game, we were all pulling for them to win because we wanted to go out the first game of the season especially under a new head coach and play national champions. But even just going to South Bend, and I mean, just the history that Notre Dame has, and it's going to be an amazing experience for everybody.
Evan Regas joins us in studio, and Evan, a new addition to this offensive line as well has been Dion Dawkins. I actually have a class with Dion, so I've been able to talk to him a bunch of times, but you're one of the older guys on this team. What do you say to one of those younger guys, like a freshman or a sophomore, that comes on in here about this Temple football program? Because Dion could be a big-time player for this team this year.
One of the biggest things with any of the young guys, we need to make them understand that, what Temple is. It's when I was a freshman, our practice facility was half the size. We weren't well respected on campus. We just want to make sure that none of the younger guys feel that they're walking into something, that they deserve what they've been given. That we just need to make sure they all understand that you need to work. And I mean, Temple is a tough team. That's one of our aspects. We're tough. And for Dion, he's going to be a phenomenal player for us. I mean, the kid has mitts for hands. I mean, I shake his hand and my hand just gets engulfed. But I mean,
and you have some big hands. When you shook I'm 6'4", I'm a big dude as well. But when you came into the studio, I felt like I was like 13-year-olds in high school again. The way you shook my hand.
Yeah, I mean, he's really going to be a great player come down the road, especially once he starts developing into a size, because he's still a young kid. But I mean, he's going to be a force on this team for years to come.
Has this been a fun group to play with? Because you see a lot of positions, and Matt Rule brings in a new life to this football team. And I know you've been off the field a little bit because you had some injuries, but now you're getting back to being healthy. There's a lot of open battles in this camp. Is this just a fun camp with a lot of high competition so far?
Oh, yeah, especially whenever you have competition, you have to have fun. But going into this camp, it's going to be probably the most fun we've ever had. Just all the spots competing for a starting job. Nobody's really set in stone, and it's just you go from the offense line aspect, there's no set spot that's, he's going to be a starter or not. So every day it's just going to go in there and just enjoy it and try to do the best we can.
I've heard from the coach, from players in the program right now, and players coming in, whether P.J. Walker from Elizabeth, who was on the station a few weeks ago, and they've all talked about wanting to bring a trophy back to this school. Is that just talk, or do players actually believe that this team could bring a trophy back to Temple University one day?
Oh, well, we will bring a trophy back. We will. It's this team's worked way too hard for anything less than that. Our off season, our preseason, we literally put our blood, sweat, and tears in this program, and for anything less than that would be a huge disappointment for us.
Tonight's the NFL Draft. You also have it going this weekend, and we could see some possible Temple Owls going. Brandon McManus. You also have Montel Harris, maybe Matt Brown or Martin Wallace. Have you talked to some of your former teammates about the NFL Draft and where they expect to go?
I've talked to Martin a lot, just because he was an offense lineman, and I see him all the time, and I still hang out with him the most. But Martin just has a great attitude about it, and he's just, wherever he goes, if he gets drafted, a free agent, he's just going to try to do what he can to help whatever team decides to sign him, and I think he will get his name called.
So are you an Eagles fan? Are you going around the area or no?
Well, I'm from the Jersey Shore, but
okay.
I'm actually a 49ers fan.
Okay.
So how did that come about? Because I live in New York and I'm a Patriot fan, so everyone always asks me, how'd you become your football team? So how'd you become a 49ers fan?
I became a Niners fan because I was actually born into it. My dad was a 49ers fan back in the 70s because my uncle was a Dallas fan.
Oh, jeez.
So,
oh, man. Well, we don't really like Dallas fans around here too much, but that's good. So who do you think they're going to draft?
Well, I think they're probably going to look for a D lineman because, that defense is one of the best in the league, but their D lineman got busted up last year. Justin Smith went down with a elbow injury, and you could just tell that affected Alden Smith, stopped getting sacks when that happened, and I think they just need to get another guy in the middle to plug it up and cause havoc.
Real quick here, right before we let you go, as Evan Regas is kind enough to join us in studio from the Temple football team. One more time, give us the information about the Susan G Komen walk and what Temple's doing. And even if you don't go to the walk, how could you still help out your teammates?
Awesome. It's May 12th, Mother's Day, and I know at Temple, our practice field, Edgar Olson Hall, we're going to have a 6:30 yoga and a warm-up breakfast and free buses down to the museum for the walk. You can, if you can't make it out to the walk, you can always donate to either the team, Temple Tough, or an individual player like myself by just going to the Susan G Komen website and searching Tough, and then selecting a player from there and donations.
Well, I'll tell you this, right after we get off the air, I'll get the information from Kathy and PR, and we'll definitely support some money to you and the team, because this is a great cause, and it's affected all of us here at WHIP, Temple University, and the whole world. So we appreciate a few minutes with you today. Get healthy. We hope to see you on the field this year, and thanks so much for coming in studio.
Thank you for having me.
Evan Regas right there, the Temple football team.